Hello again. Well, I've just bought this machine a few weeks ago and I sent it to a maintenance, so it's now all right to sew on again. But I don't have a hard cover over it, so I thought I'll make one, and I still got a lot of material. Well, what did I do? I took some cardboard and I made a mole out of it, left and right. You can see I drew around the machine, and this side and this side I'm going to do the same mole, because I want the machine cover left and right the same. So if you got this and you still have to measure the machine front, above and the back side, I did it in centimeters. I know you do it in inches, but I'm Dutch, so that's from down here up and around in the back. It's 75 centimeters, and from front to back on this side it's 44 centimeters. So I'm using some foam. You can get that everywhere. You can make bags out of it or whatever. And I've got this big one. Oh, sorry, still have to. So what am I going to do? I've done all the foam. I've cut it all out. And what do you do then? You've got the foam, and I'm going to put the foam between the material like this, sandwich it. So then I'm going to quilt it together, this side and this side, and this one as well, and the big one, this, what goes over the machine like this. See, this goes over it. So I'm going to put the material on top and on the bottom, so it's really the inside and the outside. I'm not well, it's lining, but I want to quilt it together, and then I don't have to. I have the lining and the outside the same, and I'm going to quilt it. So I'll just go on further and come back in a minute. What's also important is you iron your material really good, because I don't like the material to be a little bit creased when you make something, and it's a lot of work, so prepare yourself. I'm going to do some spray on, so it will hold just a little bit, and then I'm going to put this in one hand. Yeah. I just want to give you a tip. If you got a big material like this, don't spray everything in one time and put it on, because then it will pucker. And I think it's like if you spray it on like this, first bit, and then put the material over it with two hands. I can't do it now. Then it's better, and then do the other bit. So divide your material and spray it on like that. Okay. So I cut the left side and the right side, and I'm going to trace it with black thread around it, around the veggies, and then it's a little bit quilted, so I think I'm going to do that. Maybe I will color it in, I don't know for sure. And this side as well. I'll set my camera up. So I'll put my darning foot on, got the thread up out of the bobbin, put the feed dog down, and I'm going to sew the broccoli. Pin out. So I'm following the lines. I'm not the big lines, and maybe I'll take a few of those little ones so the material is stuck together. Turn it if you want, what's easier. Take my scissor, clip the thread away. Another pin. Oh. It's a nice effect, yeah. I think it's nice. Put this back. This one as well. Looks good. Feels yeah, feels good. The other side won't be so nice, but it's the inside, and it doesn't really matter. I'll clip it here. Just gonna do a few flowers. just to hold it. Just randomly choose the flowers. Yeah. And then this one. Do a few, and still have to make something for the pedal. I'm making something to put it in, and have to get the material and then make a cover for this. Okay, I'll do another few bits and I'll come back. So I want to make a pocket for the foot pedal, and this is what I measured. Just measure it. It can go down a little bit. So this is the pocket. I made a little bit. Cut it so a little bit, because then it's not too wide. I'm going to sew it on both sides. So on this side, on that side. I don't know if you can see it. This side, and then I've got a pocket. So I'm started on the coverage, the big one, from front to back. And I'm still a little bit quilting. It's nice to do. It's nice work, and I love this machine because it's so big and you can turn easy. So that's nice. So I hope you can see it. This is a lemon, I think. Yeah, it's a lemon. I'm getting at the starting point where I started. Go up and down, and it's locked, and you can clip it. So that's the way I'm going to do the whole top side, and I don't know if I'm going to color it in, maybe one or two. So let's see. So I'm sewed the whole upper part together and the left side. So now I just gave it some color. So the material is sandwiched with the back one, and I gave them some colors in the front. I made a video of it, how you can do that. So now I have to do the left and right side from the material. This is for the foot pedal. So now I have to put this one as well in it. Done this one. See? I'm going to sew it together. And what I'm using to sew, because it's so thick, and I think a lot of people have some problems with such thick, it is a really thick quilt, and so you can see, and it's very, yeah, it's heavy to sew on, So this is a nice walking foot. You've got them in your own. Yeah, everybody's machine has a walking foot, so that's really handy. Presses the material together, and so you can sew really good. So I'm going to sew this part, and I'll show you how it looks in a minute. So this is the foot I'm using, the walking foot. I wanted to show you. This is quite handy, this foot. So if you've got a walking foot and you have very heavy material to slide under your sewing machine, this is really handy to have. It holds it together, it doesn't walk away under the machine, it doesn't go to the left or to the right. Yeah, I wanted to put on the camera, but I'm not a pro, and this is my thing, what I always set on the table. It's not really that good. I have to look into something else. Well, it does its work, but it's not really, I can't put it in front of the machine, it doesn't work. So this is the last part. I'm just doing it by one hand and it's still working. See? Don't have to do a lot. I'm sorry with my hand. Okay, and back stitch. And finito. Eee, that was good. Yep. So now I'm going to see this side. This side is inside, and I wanted to have I worked it with the lock. Worked it. That's nice. And I stitched it. So now the other side I have to put on. I'm going to sew that together and then let you show how it looks. This is the cover. I sewed it together, the left and the right side. See? And I wanted to pimp it up a little bit with a few colors. Didn't have to be much. And I thought, maybe I'm taking it with me on a sewing course. So I have to have an opening for to lift the machine. So it's something similar like this. Going to open it, see? And then you can take it with you. So I'm going to make that as well. This is for the serger, and this is for my sewing machine. That's the old one. And I forgot to tell you about this, because when I was stitching, I took the top stitch needles. They're very handy if you have to sew this thick material, because normally you can get a hard time sewing this with a normal needle. So think about investing needles when you're sewing thick material. That's a tip I would give. I don't know what brand you want to buy, but it's 100/16 and top stitch. They usually use it for the quilting. Yeah. So I'm going to make this open, cut it with a scissor, and then make it similar as the serger. So I opened it up with a scissor. See? These are the needles to indicate where I have to, where the handle fits from the sewing machine. This is the lovely one. It's an oldie, but I do love them. But I love this one as well. Ah well, it's a nice machine. So I'm going to do this with a satin stitch the whole way around. And I don't think I have to have a clap over it to close it. See? Just with the scissor, clip it in, and then with the scissor you can cut it out. Yes, it's finished. See? It's just to keep the dust away. I like it. So this is still the drawing I kept. It's just for this machine. So you can make your own drawing for your own machine. See? So have fun with making a cover. I hope you learned a lot. And I will say to the next time. Toodaloo-dokey.